What is Jotaro's penis size? Is the question that I asked myself right after I finished editing and uploading the usual video. I've spent over 3 hours just researching and reading studies on how big could his penis be. Because I don't know if you know that, but there is no actual pictorial drawing of Jotaro's penis. So I had to pretty much go off by nothing. So I decided to Google Jotaro's dick size, and they found only one post on Reddit from 2 years ago. The post is from Spellbones, and it says, so considering Jotaro's height of 6'5", he's already much taller than the average Japanese male. We can already presume this means his Jotaro Schmidt is already much bigger than the average Japanese male, but digging further, I found that the average Japanese male penis length is about 7.93% of their total height. This would mean that Jotaro's giant cock will be more than a solid 15.9 centimeters long. Furthermore, the average dick circumference is around 75 inches, 75% of its length. This would mean that Jotaro's third leg would be about 11.9 centimeters in circumference. The typical Caucasian. Okay, and yeah, here just goes about like how much it's gonna weigh and shit like this. But I have a few problems with this. Firstly, he starts by stating how tall he is in feet. Then he switches into centimeters, but doesn't state it. And I don't think that even he realized that he's talking about centimeters. Because I don't know if you know, but 8% of 6.5 is not 16 inches. In fact, it's about 6.16 inches. So that's my first problem with this. Second, it's that he also called it the third leg, which also supports my theory that he didn't actually understand that he's talking about this in inches, not in centimeters. Because like, look, 16 centimeters dick is nice. It's very long. It's way above most guys that you're gonna see in the street probably. But it is not a third leg. This big is not a third leg, I'm sorry to tell you. So I got curious. If his dick is not 16 centimeters long, how long would it be? So then I decided to look up Jotaro, and actually just realized that he's way above average in everything, except his face. So I don't know if you know that, but actually, you can tell how long someone's penis is very often by measuring how long their pointing finger and their their ring finger is. So from here, I just had to do two things: find Jotaro's face size, and also find drawings of his hands and fingers specifically. By the way, just for reference, this say average Japanese male hand. It's about 18 centimeters long, and the fingers are about 6, and the ring finger and the pointing finger are both around about 6 centimeters long, 6 to 7 centimeters, which is right about the average Japanese male penis length, maybe a bit above. So here I found this picture of Jotaro holding a kid. I believe that was a kid. And you can just see how massive his fingers are. They're almost massive enough that it can go across his face like this. For comparison, you can see my fingers, which are also fairly big. They go to only about half my face. You can see that it's gonna go way over half of his and this kid's face. So you can see that he has very big hands. Also, something else to further support my claim that so here we have it. Jotaro's finger in the same panel in the face. I just made the images bigger. They're still they're enlarged by the same amount, by the same percentage, so they're still the same image, just bigger. And I just make it transparent so you can see. You can see how both his pointing and his ring finger both come to about his eye level. And as you can see in this rare picture of Jotaro without a hat, you can see that he has about the perfect face structure. So every part of his head, his nose, his forehead, his nose, and his forehead, his nose, and his chin are both at around his forehead, his nose, his chin are both around the same size. So if we go off by that, but you see, a small problem that we have now is that we need to learn how long is Jotaro's face. And as we can see from here, you can see that his face is the only part of his body that's not big as fuck. It looks to be about the same, if not maybe a bit bigger than this kid's face, which is normal. So we can assume that his face is about pretty much the average size. So I decided to measure my own face to see how big it's gonna be. So for me, my ratio for the distance between my chin to my forehead was around 18 centimeters. Since Jotaro is about 13% bigger than me, I'm gonna give him 2 more centimeters. So let's say that his face is gonna be about 20 centimeters long. That would pretty much mean that the distance from his eyes to his chin is gonna be around 12 to 14 centimeters. So we can safely assume that his fingers are both at least about 10 centimeters long. Which would mean that his... So we can safely assume that his fingers are at least so we can safely assume that his fingers are at least both about 11 to 12 centimeters long, which would mean that Jotaro's dick is gonna come out at about 9 inches probably, which is much more realistic in my opinion for a man the size of his, which in my opinion is way more real. Which in my opinion is way more realistic for someone the size of him. But yeah, that's gonna be for this video. Please like this video and maybe subscribe. I honestly spent a good 2 or 3 hours just researching this shit. At one point I was so fucking tired of doing this that I just went to take a shit and I was just thinking, where do I go from here? I was completely lost at one point. There's a lot of shit that I didn't show, because as you can see I have a lot more tabs open. But that's basically what I wanted to say. If I continue talking about this, I'm probably gonna get more confused just by talking about it. That's my theory. His dick is probably around 9 to 10 centimeters long. Very big. That's what you would call a third leg in my opinion. So yeah, see you.